Now, when you go back to the initial question of what can librarians do, and I said, not we need to be flip, sit down and talk with publishers. It is very, very hard to demonize people that you eat and drink with.
That's true.
And so really the first step is to sit down and spend time in conversation and find out where the commonalities are. Now that's something that we're doing through a sort of quasi-organization called the Chicago Collaborative that I've been involved with. And this is an outgrowth of a project through the Association of Academic Health Science Libraries. One of the things that I did after the Battle of Letters that I talked about was really challenged my association to do something positive and to figure out how to engage with the publishing community in a positive way, because what I view happening, it just seemed to me to be so negative in so many ways. The outgrowth of that was a task force of OSL members who were charged with developing a strategy to engage with the publishing community. What we ended up doing was we sent a letter to all of the major publisher associations. So rather than going to publishers individually, we went to the associations. So STN International, SSP, ALPSP, a couple of others.
PSP?
PSP, I forget. We hit about 5 or 6. Asked them if they would be willing to send a representative to a meeting in Chicago just to kind of talk about these issues and talk about what we had in common. Every association we contacted was very positive. They all sent representatives. We had our first meeting, I guess, was 3.5 years ago. We've met twice a year since then. The conversations themselves have been very, very positive. And we are now building a series of programs to kind of foster that. Things from, we put together what we refer to as Biomedical Publishing 101, which is a 1-hour presentation on what really happens in publishing. And that's been presented here. It's been presented at the NASIG meeting. We're now in the process of turning that into a series of online modules. So that's really directed towards engaging librarians more deeply with the publishing process. We're doing the same thing for the reverse. We had a session at the Society for Scholarly Publishing meeting last June in which we essentially had 8 librarians sitting at tables and invited people from publishing to come in and sit down and talk. Every spot was full. The conversation went on for over an hour and a half. It could have gone on much longer. What was fascinating to me was how hungry publishers were to really get a better understanding of what was happening with librarians. So I think on both sides, as we've tried to foster this kind of conversation and information sharing, we've seen an increasing amount of enthusiasm for it. And we've also come to realize that in our normal venues, this doesn't happen. This meeting, NASIG, and UKSG are the only major meetings that I know of that are attended by librarians and publishers. But even within these meetings, we keep very much to our separate spheres. And so it's that buyer-seller relationship that still tends to dominate.